Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for for inviting me to come and speak on this particular occasion, especially teaching ourselves more about business strategy, business theories and principles. I won't take much of your time in introducing myself. Probably we'll do that tomorrow if it's possible. But one thing I just want you to know that I'm Dr. Elizabeth Lucas of Folalu, the founder and president of Yes You Can International here in UK. And my background is administration, even though I managed to get a first degree in business and management. And I've been in business for more than 45 years, both here in UK and also in Africa. So I want to say I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate Dr. Lonson Tom for giving me that opportunity to come and share with you. Today we are going to be talking about, really for this week, I think our focus is on procurement. So I'm going to start my message today from that hand so that we have a better understanding of what procurement is all about, and also what is the relationship between the the buyer and the seller. I've been dealing with relationship for the past 2 years, different kinds of relationships. So that is why I'm so happy that I'll be able to talk about this particular topic, because relationship is very important in every day of our lives. When we talk of relationship, we can talk about the relationship between between us and God Almighty. And then we talk about the relationship between ourselves and our family, our friends, our neighbors. And then we talk about the professional relationship. And that is where this particular program fall under professional relationship. And then we can also talk about relationship within the leaders and relationship within nations, and even interracial relationship, and many, many more. Even relationship with the natural health, natural relationship with nature and humanity. So we have all kinds of relationship. So I'm glad to declare to you today that we are going to be talking about relationship between seller and buyer. But before we get there, it has to start from the top. And that is why I will talk a little bit about procurement. So let me just start with that. So when we talk of procurement, let me see what we can say, because without that, we can't really deep into what is the relationship between the sellers and the buyer. Procurement is the process of purchasing goods and services, usually in reference to business spending. Business procurement requires preparation, solicitation, payment processing, which usually involve several areas of a company. So if you are a businessman and woman or an entrepreneur, procurement is the language being used for us to set aside any materialism or the finance or the resources available for the business. Procurement is very important that we understand it, and we also take it serious in our organization. So when we also talk about procurement, what is procurement in a simple words? Because I like to break it down, because sometimes we go for seminar, masterclass, and even going to school, And it is possible that we don't understand what is being taught. And if you don't have a better understanding of what is being taught, you won't be able to apply it. And that is why in my own style, I like to break it down. So in this occasion, we say, what is procurement in its simple words? Procurement involves every activities involved in obtaining the goods and the services a company needs to support its daily operations, including sourcing, negotiating terms, purchasing items, receiving and inspecting goods as necessary, and keep record of all the steps in the process. I believe I have broken it down. So procurement is very, very important in every businesses and even in organization. In fact, I would say to you that procurement is the king in every organization. So that is why we need to take it serious. And I really appreciate this organization that is setting it aside for us to get better knowledge on procurement. So let's go any further. Remember, because I would rather prefer you to understand it better before we dive into it. Because when you have it, then you will be able to know how to operate in your organization or in your business. So let me repeat this again. Procurement involves every activities involved in obtaining the goods and the services a company needs to support its daily operation, including the outsourcing, insourcing, negotiating terms, purchasing items, receiving and inspecting the goods, as well as managing the resources being available in the organization. Okay, so how does it work? What is procurement in work then? What exactly is procurement? So procurement in a business is the art of sourcing suppliers and purchasing goods or services from those suppliers. It can include negotiating, bidding, contract management, contract signing, and agreement, and it can also be business spend management. I am still repeating the same thing I've been saying because I want you to understand it, and I'm saying it in different ways. Okay, so what is the example of this procurement? Example includes the raw materials, the software you want to use or you want to buy, the services you want to deliver to your customers, and products. So you need to know what is suitable for your organization. And that is where strategist is very important, because you need to start from what is the vision of your organization? What is the mission of your organization? Because until you understand what you really want to do, why you want to do that business, and what you want to deliver to the people, the product or your services. So until you know and understand that better, and even your co-workers, your employee, your employer, until they get that understanding of the mission and the vision of the organization, it will be difficult for us to work together. And it will be difficult also to know the right services you want to attain. Business is not only about one person, it's varieties. First of all, you need to know about the law behind the business you want to do. Then you need to know the capital. How do you gain the capital or the resources to do your business? And then you need to also know your priority. You need to know the people that you want to operate with or you want to deliver the services to. Then you need to know what exactly how are you going to, and what exactly the resources you need to deliver your own services and your product. So that is why this procurement is very, very important. It's the key, it's the king in every business. So examples include the raw materials. What do you want to do? If you say you want to produce products, what kind of products do you want to provide? Or what kind of product do you want to supply? Okay, you mention it. Then you need raw materials to be able to create and to produce that product. Even if we are talking about the services as well, you need to know the materials you want to use to present your services to your customers. The software, because we are all dealing with online, we are all dealing with technology now. So which software will be suitable for your organization? So you need to research about it. Then the services. Yes, you want to provide service to people. You want to deliver products and other things like that. But then what other services that you will need to attain from others, other organizations, to make your services and products more presentable to others? So all these things that directly support the production of your products, your company, and indirect procurement. Anything not direct related to this production of goods that you want to deliver is indirect procurement. So you need to really discuss this with your managers, your directors, and even your team. So that will be the first thing to do before we enter. Now, Nene, can you please do something about your connection, because it looks like I'm repeating myself. Okay, so let's also move on with that. So like I've said, that is the example. You are thinking about the raw materials you want to use. You are talking about the software. You are talking about the services and the product. Because when we talk of business or organization, one person cannot run it. So, and your resources you said you have is not enough to deliver. And that is why this is very, very important. So let's move on. So what are the three main types of procurement we are talking about? There are main types of procurement activities. We have the direct procurement, we have the indirect procurement, and we also have the service procurement. Direct procurement involves the direct purchase of raw materials, machineries, and wholesome goods that directly contribute to the company end product. So I will give you an assignment, because I am not going to be all the talking within 1 hour. So you need to research for the second and the third one. I've already started with you with direct procurement. And I've told you that direct procurement involves the direct purchase of raw goods, machineries, and wholesale goods that directly contribute to the company, your company or your business. So I want you to research more for the meaning of indirect procurement and the services procurement. That will be your assignment. I believe we are all leaders and we are learning together. Even if you want to chat on the box, on the chat box here, you want to write something, feel free to also chat and let us learn from one another. So that is by the way. Does procurement means purchasing? That's a good question. Does it mean purchasing? Because yes, I've been saying that as an organizer or as a organization director or as a as a business man or woman, you want to really know, does that mean that procurement is purchasing? So now I want us to clearly understand it from this end. Purchasing is more of transaction, like exchanging goods for money or for other things. So that is very important. It's how goods or services are ordered. On the other hand, procurement is an umbrella term that includes the purchasing, but also involve identifying the company's needs, selecting suppliers, establishing payment terms, and managing the supply relationship. Let me repeat that again. Purchasing is for you to buy raw materials or any other services that will enhance your own performance or operation of your business or organization. But procurement, like I said right from the beginning, is overall. It's not only just purchasing, because what the procurement manager or the director will do is for them to research more about the needs of the company and how we can go about it, and also how we can manage the resources available in the company and the one we can also acquire from other organizations. So you can see there's a difference between purchasing and procurement. But procurement also involves the identifying the needs of the company, which is very important. We don't go for what we want. We go for what the company needs to perform well or to deliver their services. So that is why it is so important that we have this department in our organization, because their job is to research. Their job is to set up a policy that we can meet up. It's their duty to know the right products, right services, right everything that we can attain from outside to enhance our performances in our business. Is procurement a good role? Like I said, it is very good. It's a good role and is also king of any organization. Because if you don't have this kind of department, then you will just do anything anyhow. And sometimes we might miss out or even fail. You might even fall out of the track. You might even fall out of your plans. But when this department is there and is functioning well, you can be rest assured that whatever you are acquiring from outside is suitable and it meets the needs of the organization. So procurement involves finding creative solutions to supply problems, and the varieties in this concern, alongside the sector's typically tasks, also regularly provides new challenges and duties for people in this role. If you enjoy a job with no set routine, working in procurement could be a good career. That is how important this procurement. So if you find yourself being the admin, being the manager, or the director of procurement, you have a special role in every organization. Like I said, you keep learning, you keep researching, and you keep also knowing how to market what you have, and also learn from other organizations. A procurement person or anyone fixing the role of a procurement, we also learn from other organizations of how they are operating. They observe them, and if it is suitable for your own needs in your organization, they can apply it. All what we want to do is to be successful in what we are doing. So that is also part of procurement. Why am I talking about procurement when my own topic is really on relationship between buyers and sellers? Because it's the king. Because it's the umbrella of an organization. Because you need to have a better, clear understanding of what you are expecting and what you can deliver and how you can deliver your products and your services. So procurement, again, is a vital business function encompassing a range of activities for an organization to obtain goods and services. So we depend on the procurement manager or procurement director or even the administrator to lead us the way of the type or the right organization to approach, the right raw materials to attain, and also the services we can gain from other organizations. So that is how important that. Let me also give you these 5 P's in procurement. The 5 P's of procurement are the power, the people, the process, the planning, and the prevention. The power, the authority, the management, the leadership of the organization. The people, because we are all dealing with people. We're going to deal with the customers. We're going to deal with the suppliers. We're going to deal with the founder and the director of another organization. We're also going to deal with our own team, our workers, our employees. So it's very important. And then the third one, the planning. It's so important that we need to plan properly. A proper planning and preparation will lead to a better performance. So if we plan well, then we can gain, and then we can present and also deliver well. Then the last one is prevention, because we all know that there will be ups and downs, there will be challenges. Sometimes we're going to fail. Sometimes we're going to make mistakes. And we're going to learn from those mistakes and our failure, because we're not going to give up and we are not going to lose hope. But there are some things that we can prevent. For example, we can't prevent making mistakes because mistakes will just come. But we can reduce the mistakes so that we don't repeat the same mistakes again and again and again. We can also prevent most of the product that is not necessary, and we want to attain it and bring it to our organization. It's of no use and it's not resourceful. So we need to prevent that. We also need to prevent people, the organizations, the other organizations. Are they resourceful? Are they useful to us? Is their product needed? Is their services needed for our own performance, our own operation? So that is why this 5 P's is very, very important. If you don't learn anything here today, please take up those 5 P's. I'll repeat it again. The power, the people, processing. How are you processing? You need to look into it. How are you operating and facilitating the resources you have and those ones that you are going to procure? Then the planning, and then prevention. So this 5 is very important in procurement. Only one person can speak for us to understand. So please, if you are here to learn, please mute. Okay, so we can move on. Please always mute yourself when one person is speaking, because we are here to learn from one another. Very, very important. Okay, let's move on. I hope I can recap that one again before the interruption. The 5 P's of procurement are the power, the people, the process, the planning, and also the prevention. Let me mention only one, and then I will expect you to go and research more about the rest of the P's that I've mentioned. Power refers to the influence and the authority of the procurement team, while people represent the human resources executing the strategies. Very important. So the power is the influence within ourselves, the power of influence within others outside our organization, and also the authority, because we need to have a right person leading us, the right driver leading the company, the organization. Okay, so that is the one that we're going to be sharing. And now we want to dive quickly into the relationship between buyers and sellers. I hope you are ready for this. The 4 types of relationship between buyers and sellers are transactional, functional, affiliative, and strategy. I'll repeat myself again. Transactional, functional, affiliative, and strategy. So these are the 4 basic sales strategy salespeople use. Are script-based selling, need satisfaction selling, consultative selling, and strategy partner selling. So if we are talking about the relationship between the buyers and the sellers, we need to be looking at how do we transact. Oh, first of all, let me say this. Before you can transact, there must be communication. How well is your communication skills? Because you need to say the right words to the right people. So communication is the key word there. If you are going to transact, you need to know how to negotiate. You need to know how to present yourself and present and represent your organization. You also need to know a little bit about the organization you are communicating with before the transaction. And that's where you need to research. Before you can connect with another organization to require or to acquire their resources, their product for you, for your own operation in your organization, you have to very good of communication skills. So you need to develop that. How you communicate within your company, within your team, will be far different from how you communicate with somebody outside your organization. So I will encourage all our leaders to have that in mind, that communication skills is very important. Even if you are going to transact your goods and services, you need the right words. You need the right statements. You need the right communication, right language to use. Because that will convince them, that will also build trust. Because where there is no trust, you cannot transact. So you need to make yourself available to be able to communicate clearly for them to understand your intention and what you are doing and operating in your own organization. Let me also say this, before you start transacting anything, you need to have a full knowledge of your own organization. Like I said right from the beginning, your mission, your vision, and the goals that you want to achieve. So once you know that, then you can go and represent your organization to present your case in front of the other parties. So for you to have a transaction for goods and services, better communication is needed. Then functional. Yes, you want to, you are expecting other services and goods from outside your company to enhance your own performances, to enhance your own production, to enhance your own operation. So you need to be more functional, knowledge based. What do you want to produce? What service do you want to create? How does that particular services that you are inquiring about or acquiring,
Brother,
how does it affect, how does it going to help your
remove. Oh.
own functioning?
Okay.
I believe that everyone on this platform are ready to learn. So please, we don't want any distraction. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. So the 4 basic sales strategies will be salespeople, then the script base. So you need to know the right language to use, and then need satisfaction. You need to convince them that you really want their services. And then you need to also talk about the in returns as well, because sometimes it might not be just money, paying them for their services. It might be a negotiation of something else, like a trade and barter. You give us your service, we give you this service, or you give us this and they'll give you the 10%. Or, all this negotiation still based on the right communication when you go over there. Okay, so what is the relationship then of a buyer and seller? Types of buyer-seller relationship. Want to sell. What kind of relationship do you have before? So you need to build that relationship. You have to build trust. You need to be honest to yourself first, honest to the company you are working with, and be honest to what you are saying or delivering in your communication. So they need to see that honesty and also integrity. You need to let them know, or you need to present yourself in a way that if your 10 o'clock is 10 o'clock, they need to believe that. You have to set your own standard. If you say that you are going to return 10% or you want to return this, then do it at the right time, because you are building the credibility of your company, because you are building the credibility, and also you are building a trust, a reputation for your company. So it's very important. So between buyers and sellers, transaction relationship is very important and is of value. Then, what value are you adding to the people? What value do you want to add to your suppliers and your buyers? What value do you want them to gain from you? And what value are you adding to the product and the services that you are providing? The same things will happen to the organization that you are acquiring or you are building relationship with. What value are you bringing to them? And what value are they bringing to you is very important. So partnering and collaboration is also another way, because you cannot provide everything to this world. You will only do your bit and do it best and let others do it. I'm sure before we finish up my section, maybe tomorrow or on Saturday, we will also be talking about the outsourcing. insourcing and outsourcing. But today we're still talking about the buyers and sellers relationship. Let me say this, relationship is the key words in everything we do. So how you relate with others, companies, and with your team in your company matters a lot. And that is why we are talking about this, so that we can learn from one another. We're talking about partnering and collaboration. So you need to know the strategies to use. You don't collaborate with everybody out there. You first of all research the organization you want to partner and collaborate with. Because not every organization that you need, but some organizations, you need their services and their product. That is also down to the procurement team to research well about the organization you want to connect with or collaborate with or partner with. Will they bring value to your organization, to your team? And will you be able to add value to them? Because it's an exchange. So it's very important that we keep on discussing about this relationship. Because when you build a good relationship, then the operation and the performance in your organization will flow smoothly. And your transaction with other organizations will also go smoothly. So we need to understand, who are we connecting with? Who are we networking with? Which company are we organizing? Are we collaborating or partner with? So you need to have a knowledge of that organization. That is the way to build relationship generally. It's like man and a woman. The reason why you want to live with that man, the reason why you want to live with that woman. So you need to have a better understanding of who you want to live with the rest of your life. The same principle with the organization and with the business that we're doing. So how do you build relationship with buyers and sellers? Very important as well. You build rapport. Not everything we need to be looking serious. That is why you see business, you see the stakeholders and the partners forming an organization. It's forming an event where they come together, even if it is just going to have a meal together to talk about business. It's permitted, because that's the only way you can know each other. You build rapport. They know about your business. You know about their business. You know about their function. You know about their team. You know about their services. They know about your products as well. So you build rapport. Because rapport in relationship selling, rapport building between the rep and the buyer is emphasized more than the features or the price of the offering. It is very important. When you build that rapport, you build trust, you build honesty, you give them the picture of who you are and how you are performing, even in your own organization. And within the period, they started building interest. Oh, that sounds better. Oh, sounds resourceful. Oh, we can gain from one another. So while we are communicating and building rapport, you are not wasting your time. When you form or you arrange a dinner or lunch, you are not wasting your time. When you spend hours, your time and your money for the meal, you are not wasting your resources. You are building rapport, because you want them to know you better, know your performance, know your organization better, and you also want to know them better. So building rapport in relationship, any relationship is very important. So build rapport with your buyers and with your suppliers. You can yearly organize a party whereby others can come together. It's not about business alone. It's not about working. So you can build that one up. There can be an exhibition. There can be a networking. That is why I love to go for network, breakfast networks and other things like that. Because when you come together, you see beyond what you are seeing. You see outside the box. Because you know that in this world is wide. Everyone will play their own part, but we can work together. Then the next one is include custom personality or personalization. How are you presenting yourself matters in the marketplace. Are you a serious person? I know sometimes we might say that what you wear does not determine what you perform, how you perform. I know. But first impression matters. So how you presenting yourself is also down to how you communicate, how you are expressing yourself, how you are presenting what you are presenting to the other party. So presentation and personality is very important. It attracts, it influences, and it also inspires others. So you need to check as well your products. You need to know more about your products, know more about yourself, your organization, your services, because they can ask you any questions while you are meeting up. Yes, I love questions. I love to ask questions. What are you providing? What are you producing? In what level are you operating? I like to ask questions because that is the way you can know each other better. Then be proactive. When you go for networking, business, seminars, be proactive. Don't be an onlooker. Be active in what you are doing. Let them know that you have confidence in your business, you have confidence in your organization, and you have confidence in what you are providing. It's your confidence matters because your confidence will give them assurance that you know what you are doing and they can build business with you or build relationship with you. Do your research. I said it right from the beginning. Research, research, research. Before you can dump or dive deep into anything, research. Before you can enter an agreement, research. Before you can build relationship, research. Research, research, research. And discuss about your findings. So, what is a transactional relationship between a buyer and a seller? Traditionally, relationship between buyers and sellers are transactional, meaning they are based solely on the transaction between the two parties. So what is the supplier providing the buyer? It's a good question. What are you selling and what are you buying? Simple as that. Then you need to know, how are you providing what you are providing, what you are delivering? And then, what is the cost of your product and your services? So you need to research and you need to work hard before you can't just wake up in the morning and say, okay, yes, I will charge this person this, I will charge them for this. No. So you need to research and you need to work hard before you make your price. You don't make it cheap. You don't make it very expensive. So you need to come up with an average cost. And for what length of time do you want to deliver your services? You don't want to do it quickly and then at the end of it all, there is no good result. And you don't want to drag it that it will now becoming of no use. Because at this modern age or this modern technology age, nobody wants to waste much time anymore. Time is costly. So how you use your time in delivering your services matters. So you need to look at that. So the relationship begins there and it also ends there. So what is the relationship between a seller and customer? Tomorrow, I think I'm going to deal with the customer relationship. But this is just to give you the hints. The relationship between salespeople and customers are similar to those you have, which range from acquaintance to be best friends. Business relationship range from transactional or one-time purchases to strategy, partnership that are often likened to be just like a marriage. And that's what we are going to talk more about it probably tomorrow. We're going to talk about the customer management. We're going to talk about the relationship between customer and their organization. So today is about what are you selling and what are you buying? So with all this, I know we've learned a lot. So why is it relationship between buying and selling important? This no denying important at all, because importance of buying seller relationship, their impact, they impact your ability to succeed, because your business, your organization must, is focused on your sellers and also your buyers. So that is why the relationship must be working out for you. That is why we need to build this relationship. That is why we need to be serious about this relationship. Without a good relationship, without an effective relationship, business cannot go far. We cannot succeed without relationship. So that is how important it is. So what are the 4 types of relationship there between a seller and buyer? The 4 types of relation between a seller and buyer, which I think I have mentioned it before. So this is just a recap. Transactional, functional, affiliative, and strategy. So I'm not going to say much about that anymore. So what are the examples of a buyer-seller relationship? Can you just hold on for a second while I try to do something? So hold on a second, please. Right. Sorry for the interruption. Sometimes we need to just have a break while we are talking or sitting for a while. It's part of our healthy procedure. Okay, so we are talking about this relationship. What is an example of? I've said that already. And by economic exchange, I mean any buyer and seller relationship. It could be a relationship between a customer and products firm and a shopper in a grocery store. It could be a raw material supplier, an automobile manufacturer, and it could be a client and a lawyer. So it's not just only the goods that we're talking about or the services. We are talking about everything within the sector. Let me repeat myself again. What is an example of a buyer-seller relationship? An example is, it can be a relationship between a consumer and product. People using your product, or you want to use another person's product. So you are using, it's like you are consuming it to use. It could be a shopper in a grocery shop. The shopper coming to a grocery shop to buy whatever they want to do, what they want to buy, or to use your services. And it could even be a raw material supplier. You go to the warehouse and you get everything you need for you to perform or to operate or to create or to produce. So we are looking broadly about this. So this kind of masterclass is important to everyone out there as an entrepreneur or businessman and woman or any other section. So it is very important. So what are the stages of the buyer and selling relationship then? The buyer and seller relationship involves across 5 stages. Imagine, interesting. Look at what I'm going to say. Pre-relationship stage. Second one, exploratory stages, like researching, explore. Then development stages. So you've explored what you want, you've researched it, you know it is good for your business operation. And then what else? Then you start developing. Development stage. Then you need to be stable in what you are doing. So you need to be focusing and be consistent, diligent in what you are performing or developing, either your services or your product. And then the final stage, then you yourself, you are ready to present and also to deliver your services and your products. Very interesting. So what is the communication between the buyers and selling called? Remember, I said it right from the beginning. Communication is very important. So what is the communication then? Personal selling uses in-person interaction to sell products and services. So your personalities matters. Like I said, the way you present yourself, the way you present your product and services really matters when we're talking about the relationship. How are you delivering it? Because those people you are speaking to need to understand it better, your product, before they can release their own products for you. And same thing, your suppliers, your buyers, your customers, your partners, your collaborators, they need to understand your product. So like I said before, you need to understand your mission, your vision, what you are bringing to the table, the solution you want to solve, the problems you want to answer in the world. And then you will be able to present it to others. Because whatever you say will determine their response. Whatever you say will determine how they want to put their trust with you. Whatever you say will determine how they want to respond to you, how they want to take you, your word, and your organization serious. So this type of communication is carried out by sales representative, if you have them in your organization. They need a proper training before they go out there to represent you, to represent your company. They are what we call drive. They drive your organization everywhere they go. They represent, they are ambassador of your organization. So who are the personal connection between a buyer and a company or a company's product or services then. That is another assignment for you, to go out there, research about it, and then get your findings. Okay, so let me see if I have finished. Okay, so let me also just tell you this quickly. What is the relationship buyer? We build up relationship with our clients, and so the relationship buyer will be our best clients. Buyers can be your clients, can be your patients, can be your customers. So we need to build a proper relationship with them. If we provide or deliver at their own satisfactory, they will stay longer with you. Do you know that sometimes they can even be the channel to other customers that are coming your way? Because if they buy a goods or services from you and they are satisfied and they are enjoying it, they will not only retain or stay with you, they will also introduce it to others. So they are like your marketers, your market chain. So imagine you provide your services and products to a customer, and that customer introduce your product, your services to another customer, and another customer do the same thing. So you can see that that chain continues. So for one person, you can receive almost more than 1,000 or 10,000 buyers coming to buy from you. That is how important buyers are. Buyers contributed to the success of your organization, because when you produce your product and the buyers are not buying, your business cannot go well. When you have services and the people that want to enjoy your services are running away from you, are going to another place, then you are losing. But to attract them, you need to make sure that you have a proper product and you deliver right. They are the people who really value you and value your product and your services. So that's how important it is for us to build that relationship with them. They value your help, your resources. So these are the buyers that will pay you a premium price because they truly value what you do. So you see how important it is for us to build relationship with our buyers. Be watchful of what you promise to deliver. Be watchful of the products you are delivering. Be watchful of what is in your package. When you say you will do this, you will do that, you will do that. And be faithful to your promise. That is the way to build a relationship. So what are the 4 basic selling techniques? Let me also add that because I'm rounding up now. This could be transactional selling, solution problem selling, consultative selling, and provocative selling. I'll just mention it because there's no time for me to elaborate it, but that is another 3rd assignment for you, to know more about these 4 basic selling techniques, because you will all need it. Transactional selling, solution selling, consultative selling, and provocative selling. And may I also advise all our leaders, if you are in a position to suggest this training or this particular training on selling techniques to your staff, your employee, please do. Because this training will help and add value and promote and make your business a successful one. So what are the three types of buying, selling relationship? Like I've said before, dimensions of buying, selling relationship, types of buying, selling relationship will be transactional distance relationship, transactional exchange relationship, value added exchange. That means you add value to them, they add value to you. Needs better than competitors. Oh, yes. Sometimes we fall in and we fall out on wanting to compete. But that's not the way. The way is for you to meet the value, to add the value. When you add the reasonable value to others, they will come back to you and you will stand out. So the most important thing is the product you are producing, the services you are rendering, and the collaboration you are getting from other partners to perform your duty and your operation very well. Very important. Once you do this, you will be in a better position to build and also to sustain and maintain relationship between buyers and sellers and your organization. So on this note, I want to say a special thank you to Dr. Lawson Thompson for giving me the opportunity, because I also learn from it. I have to learn from all this. And I believe we've learned one or two things from what I have said. If you have missed out one topic, if you have missed out any statement that you really need for yourself, for your development, please ask questions or repeat this video and listen to it again and again. And I can assure you, as we begin this 2024, you will never be the same again and your company or organization. And I wish you all the best. This is Dr. Elizabeth Lucas Afolalu, the founder and the director of Yes, You Can International. And guess what? Yes, you can attain it, you can achieve it, you can be successful, and you can fulfill your dreams and vision of your organization and your business. And never give up, because the road will be rough and things will go tougher. There will be a lot of challenges. But when you stay focused and stay positive, you can be successful. And by this time next year, 2025, when you look back, you will give God all the glory for your achievements. Thank you for listening. I hand over to Dr. Lawson Thompson now.
What a wonderful class. Indeed, I'm so glad to be in this section. Your Excellency, Madam, I really want to say a very big thank you on behalf of PCCF, which is Prestige Cronza Consulting Firm. We appreciate you. We thank you so much, Your Excellency. You have even did more than my own personal expectation. I've learned a lot, just like you rightfully said that you have also learned a lot from this. Yeah, friends from Prestige, please, this is a great opportunity for individual, for everyone. She has made a solemn request that you should introduce this to your staff. Please, do not only acquire this by yourself alone, but extend this to your friends, to your loved ones. Our mama is going to be with us again tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Nigerian time, 10 a.m. UK time. Please involve your friends, your staffs to join this class tomorrow. And she will also be with us on Saturday by 8 p.m. I want you to understand one thing about Y.Y.C.I. Yes, you can. Yes, you can international has trained a lot of captain of industry. diplomats, president, sitting president, and outgoing sitting president. So this is not an organization that we should joke with. It is a body that everybody have to come together. If you need a personal mentor or you want someone to mentor you, please, our mama is here for you. She's ever ready to do that. As you see her, she's ever strong. She's not shaking and nothing will shake her. So please, always, always, always key yourself into learning, key yourself into knowledge, key yourself into more wisdom. The Lord Almighty is going to help us. Y.Y.C.I is there for us. I am part of it. I am a beneficiary of this organization, and I want you also to belong to this kind of great wisdom. Thank you so much, ma'am. We hope to see you again tomorrow, and we believe, God, that our coming to this class will never be in vain. God bless you, ma. Thank you. Tonight, we are going to meet again. We are going to meet again on WhatsApp as usual. I feel like not maybe coming up again online today because she has done a lot. But as our tradition is, for those that are busy in their offices right now that could not join this class, we'll meet again this night by 8 p.m. Nigerian time on WhatsApp. Thank you so much and God bless.
And can I also quickly say something is that you cannot, I mean, I've been speaking for 1 hour now, and the same thing will happen apply to me as well. That not everything being said for 1 hour or for 30 minutes that you can attain. That is life. That is how it will be. But be willing to ask questions, because when you ask questions, then you are clarifying what you've heard and you will get a better understanding. Because getting a better understanding of what you've heard will also help you to implement what you've learned. Because I believe that this topic is very crucial and you want to learn, and at the same time, you want to practice what you've learned, and you also want to train others. So you share your knowledge with others. But if you don't ask questions, then you won't be able to understand what you've learned, because you will just assume, and you can assume late. You can assume wrongly. And like I always say, mindset is everything. What you store in your mindset matters. So if you store the right information, then you can also take action and also influence others to take action. So I just want to tip that one into it and say, be willing to ask questions. So for this occasion, if you still have any questions to ask me quickly before I move on, I can only give you 4 minutes to ask your question. If I can answer it now, I will try. If I can't answer it now, I believe you will come back tomorrow and then you can ask your questions. So we give more room for questions tomorrow. So, but if you have questions now, please ask your question. Only for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Any question? Okay, I believe yes. Do you want to ask questions?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma.
Okay.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Edaji Monday Sunday. Actually, I really appreciate the lecture, and I think I have a fair understanding of what procurement is actually all about. Before now, actually, my layman understanding of procurement is just about buying and selling. Like, but for now, I think I have a broad understanding about it, and I really appreciate. So for question, I think I do not have any question at hand now. Maybe before tomorrow, if I have any, I will come up with it tomorrow. Thank you so much, and God bless you, ma'am.
That's fine. That's fine. Any other that want to say something quickly?
Hello, ma.
Yes, please.
The name is Owen Yoroki. Okay. Please, I have a question with regard relationship. How do you create a relationship that, for example, has been has been affected wrongly. What I mean is talking about buying and selling, you want to sell a product, and probably the people that have been in that environment have same product before you. A good job. I've actually created a problem in the system already. How do you go about that?
Hey, good question. Good question. Let me first of all say this, that we are all movies to everything in life. For example, when you wake up this morning, you don't know what you're going to meet this morning, isn't it? And so because of that, sometimes we can do some trial and error. Only person that knows tomorrow is God. And that is why sometimes we go, all the time we go closer to God and pray to God to direct us. Now, in this case now, that yes, we all make mistakes. Not how we started, but where we're going that matters. And then you can reassess your operation. You can sit down and assess it. Sometimes we do things wrong and we can make mistakes. If we shy away from that, we can't learn anything. But if we reassess it, then we can learn a lot from our mistakes. How are we doing it? Are we having the right customer or the buyers and sellers? Are we doing it in the right way? If we are not doing it the right way, what can we change? Because we have a better chance. So when you think about that and discuss it with your team, I'm sure you will come up with new ideas of doing things. Then another thing is, some people might have a business or build a relationship for 10 years or 20 years. But then, when you started, the principle you were using right from that time might be valuable to one's extent, but it might not meet up the present situation because life changes, situation changes. For example, we use COVID as a point of contact now. The way we are all operating in business is different from now because things have changed. Many people don't use online. I don't use online before. I have so many shops that are created that I am managing. But when this COVID locked majority of us in and all the shops, all the offices are closed, then we have to repackage, reposition, and reorganize ourselves and our organization. And that is how we all end up in online business. So, my brother, what I would like to say is that you can start all over again. But before then, you need to have a good meeting, strategic meeting with your team members and assess everything that you've been doing. In fact, if it's possible, you need to know exact time when you now feel that you are not delivering anymore like before, or we are not gaining, or things are not like you've expected, or it's not meeting your goals and your objectives. So once you know that, you can trace it to where things went wrong. And then you can assess it, have an open dialogue with your team. Even if it's possible, send your team to go and research. They can visit other organizations to see how they're operating. So like a learning curve. And then you can now come back and say, okay, let us see if we can implement this, implement that. Let us see if we can, gather this information and use it to our own benefit. But the key point is you recognize things are not right. And it's not business as usual. And then the key point is you need to discuss with your team. And then you need to delegate your teams to go out there and research on how to improve. Maybe something like a customer behavior. You need to read more about that. Maybe the people's management. Maybe the customer relationship services. You need to know about that. There will be a way out, and there will be a solution to every problem we are facing in this world. So it's okay that you've absorbed it. I mean, I appreciate that, and you've recognized that. Now, where is the way out? And that's why I'm just giving you this, that you can start all over again, and you can discuss with your team, and you can also reach out to others out there so that you can gain, and you can restart, you can reposition, and you can reconnect with the right people, and also move on with your progression. Am I right with my statement? Hello?
Hello, ma. Thank you very, very much. I think you just
And get a mentor as well. Dr. Lawson Thompson is the best mentor. And if you want us
gave
to
me
work
the
together
opportunity.
with Doctor, we can do some things together to support your organization, especially in building relationship between the buyers and the suppliers and the sellers. So thank you. Okay, I believe there is no more questions. If there's any more questions, 1 minute. If not, you can reserve your questions for tomorrow, or you can send your questions to Dr. Lawson Thompson so that he'll be able to convey it to me. Probably I'll prepare the answer for that question, and then we can straightforward start the other module tomorrow. So thank you once again for allowing me to share my inspirational nugget of wisdom with you this morning. And I also want to express my gratitude to the founder of COSAC, Dr. Lawson Tom. Thank you so much for inviting me and trusting me to come and share with your students.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. We hope to see you tomorrow. God bless you, ma.
Thank you. God bless. So we need to end this. You give me permission to end this section today?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And God bless you all. Have a great day.